What's up, Raptors fans? Welcome to the Warriors Report. It's been a few days since I've released a video, and this is probably the first time in a really long time where I've had 2 days, or I thought I had 2 days continuously of not making a video, but we get some more news about the Raptors, and that is that they have signed Isaac Bonga. Now this is a very interesting player in terms of what he brings to the Raptors. Isaac, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name if that is not how you pronounce it, but Isaac Bonga becomes another player that Bobby Webster, Masai Ujiri have signed. He's listed at 6'8". He's about 180, 85 pounds on Basketball Reference, and his wingspan is 7 feet. So again, we're going with what seems like a pattern in the summer, which is signing 6'8", 6'9" guys with enormous wingspan. So for today's video, I'm gonna break down Isaac Bonga's game, what he brings to the Raptors, where he's gonna fit on the roster, and I'm gonna give you a player comparison I think you will really like. So before we get into the details of the video, you know the drill, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. It does help reach more basketball fans like yourself. And if you want to hit the subscribe button as well, it greatly helps this channel grow. I'd be very much appreciative of that. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. So this entire summer, it seems like Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster have gone from having a short backcourt of Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry to signing these enormous guys who are great defensive players who have switchability, which is what Isaac Bonga is. So Isaac Bonga becomes another one of those players who is great on switching on defense. He moves his feet really well, and he actually puts the ball on the floor really great as well. He'll really get in there in the transition game. Think of like a Pascal Siakam, but his dribbling, dare I say, hot take here, hot take. I'm not saying his dribbling is better than Pascal Siakam, but in terms of his quickness, lateral quickness, and how he's able to move the ball on the floor, and dare I say, maybe even be better than Pascal Siakam. That may be a little bit of a hot take. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comment section, but he's a very interesting player in terms of what he brings to the Raptors. We know they're signing these crazy wingspan guys of 7 feet, so I saw some of his highlights, and just going based off of some of his highlights, he seems like he can guard the 3, 4, 5 position, maybe the 2 position, depending on who he's guarding. But there's a highlight of where he's guarding Kristaps Porzingis, and we know Kristaps is listed at 7'2". He's doing a great job. He does a great job of staying in front of his man. He doesn't gamble. He does a great job of getting steals as well. He'll get those steals like you see the typical Raptors players get, which is throw it across the court, and then he intercepts and he runs in transition and gets a basket. He's also a fairly explosive athlete. I wouldn't say a very explosive athlete, but he's very intriguing in terms of what he's able to do on the offensive side and on the defensive side. Now he is only 21 years old. He's not when you take a look at his stats here, they don't exactly jump out at you. He's average less than 2 rebounds, about 2 points per game. But when you take a look at his shooting percentage, again, not the greatest, right? Not the greatest. So I'm not going to hype him up to be this great player only to, have you guys flame me out. But in terms of when you take a look at his last season, his averages, you saw him getting a lot more minutes. His shooting percentages were a lot better. His 3-point percentage was a lot better than this season. His free throw percentage was a lot better. Obviously, maybe it just wasn't the right fit this year with Washington, or excuse me, last season with Washington. But when you take a look at the numbers, obviously giving him more minutes, he does have more of an impact, but he does breed another player who has great defensive versatility. He can switch on defense. He's great at passing. And the player I'm actually going to compare him to, maybe a little bit of a hot take, I think I see a lot of OG Anunoby in him. And I'm not saying he's going to be OG Anunoby, but in terms of the similarities between him and OG Anunoby are identical in terms of what Bonga brings to the Raptors. As I mentioned, switchability on defense, but offense as well. I've seen some of his highlights, and just going off of that, he has this spin move he does, and his wingspan seems enormous to the point where he can just easily stretch it out and lay it up, and the defenders just can't block him. So he's got some of the similar moves of OG Anunoby. His footwork is great in terms of what he's able to bring to the Raptors. His passing skills as well, they're a little bit underrated. Now, I know his statistics don't necessarily show it, but he's great at finding the man in transition. You go on Google, you go on YouTube, look up his highlights, and he's getting players involved. He's getting those nice passes you don't expect players to make at his size. So he'll be another nice piece for the Raptors. Now, it is to note, guys, it is not a guaranteed spot. So before everyone assumes that he's going to be the 14th, 15th man, he is a camp invite. His contract is not guaranteed, so he will be fighting for a roster spot. So it'll be interesting to see, a lot of these guys, 6'8", 6'9" guys with Sam Decker. Now we have Bonga, and see who fights for that last roster spot. We know the Raptors like to invite some of these guys to make it really competitive, to really push those guys. You want to push those 14, 15 spot guys to really earn their minutes, to really earn that last few roster spots. on the Raptors team. So it'll be interesting to see who earns that last roster spot. But another intriguing player in terms of what he's able to do. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits in with the Raptors. I think if he does make the roster, realistically speaking, I see Bonga as someone think of like a Stanley Johnson. You'll use him in certain matchups, but most of the time he may not be playing. He'll probably be the 13, 14, 15 guy off of the bench, depending on how Nick Nurse uses him. But very interesting signing, and it kind of goes with the pattern of how the Raptors have been signing these 6'8", 6'9" guys. But I do want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think of this signing? Do you like the signing? Do you dislike the signing? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys are still watching this video, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.